Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about the tips I have if you're in nursing school that would be helpful. You can use them, but you can also choose not to use them. I just thought of tips that you guys would probably like or would think that's helpful while in the nursing program. So if you're interested in knowing the tips that I have, then stay tuned.
Savage bitch, in your trap and take over. Name another bitch that's colder. I just bought a brand new Rover. I don't even drive no more, I got a chauffeur. Took off, man, they asking me to slow up. Getting wiser and my money getting older. And that bitch, I ain't even gonna hold it. And that bitch, and I thought that they told that bitch.
Okay, so I do have this notebook, so if I keep looking down or if you see this thing in the way, it is my notebook of the tips that I have written down. So of course, I'm gonna name each tip and I'm gonna elaborate a little bit more on how you can do these things or how you would adjust this to your nursing school schedule or your busy schedule. So here we go. The first tip I have is to get familiar with regular terminology. Now I would say this because I know a lot of people, everybody that's in a nursing program or in nursing school or wants to go in nursing school is not already in the medical field. A lot of nursing students are already like CMAs, LPNs, phlebotomists, or patient care tech, something, but not everybody comes from a medical background. So I know some programs have a class for medical terminology and some classes don't. For my program, we did not have a class for medical terminology. They gave us a little pamphlet that we can use if we want to, you know, freshen up on our medical terminology. I wasn't really worried about it because I went to Job Corps, and in Job Corps, for that medical field, for that certification or those 5 certifications that I got, I did have to take medical terminology. So I wasn't really worried about it because I'm not new to medical terminology, but it would help people that haven't been in the medical field at all, or maybe that just started in the medical field but they still don't know certain terminologies. So I do notice that some of my classmates have trouble when the teacher says certain things and she don't explain it, for the simple fact of us not taking medical terminology. So she would say like a disease or something, or she would say a certain word and everybody's like, what is she talking about? What is this? And nobody would really ask her. Some people will, some people won't, but she moves so fast and talks so fast to the point where you can't really catch the whole word or exactly what she's saying. So I would say look up medical terminology, or look in your book, whatever class, like microbiology, AP, regular biology, and go in the vocabulary part of that section and look up each word. So I would say for each chapter that your teacher is teaching or that you guys are going over, I feel like it would be best to look up at the end of that chapter. It will have the vocabulary words, and look up what each vocabulary words mean. And I would write it down, make flashcards, just to make yourself more prone to different like terminologies. And I know in microbiology we have a medical terminology project. I would use that as well and make it into flashcards. So what we have to do, which we did in biology as well, we had to get a vocabulary word, a description, and a picture. I would use that as flashcards. I would do the project and then get those medical terminology words that I found that I wanted to use and elaborate on, and I would put those in a flashcard. So the front and the back would be the picture, the front would be the word, and the back would be the picture and the description of the word. So that's what I would do to help me with medical terminology, because I do know that some programs do not have a class itself on medical terminology. I'm gonna try to put in the little pamphlet or the book that they gave us. It's like a little pamphlet for Evolve that they gave us, that we can go into Evolve and look up medical terminology and read up on it ourselves, but we don't really have a class for medical terminology. And I feel like that's where people struggle the most, is when they get into a nursing program and they don't know what, they pass prereqs and they're starting the nursing classes, but they don't know what they're saying, because the teachers move so fast. And I feel like some of the teachers, yes, they do teach very well, they're experienced, but I feel like they teach for students that's already LPN level that know some of the medical terminologies. They don't teach for students that never been in the medical field, which I feel like they should have different types of teachers. So the LPNs that's going to the RN program to continue their career, I feel like they should get a certain teacher, and the people that don't really know anything or know a little bit of stuff should get a different teacher, because they teach different. Like my teacher for health assessments, she's teaching us as if we're already RNs going to the BSN program, or if we're already LPNs going to RN program. So that's kind of hard for some people, including me, because I know some medical terminology, but I don't know all. Like she will say certain diseases and stuff like that, and I'm just like, what is that? Because I never heard of it before. But of course she has heard of it because she's a practitioner nurse, MD. So, or yeah, MD. And some of my classmates are LPNs. So some people may understand, some people don't. So I honestly, I went ahead and dropped the class, and I'm gonna talk about that in a Get Ready With Me chit chat, but I wasn't really getting it with 4 classes. So I'm gonna take it again next quarter, just to only have that class next quarter so I can fully focus on that class. And I feel like it's the medical terminology, along with how the teachers say things. The teachers say things by the book. Like they say stuff, but yes, they'll put real life situations in it, but it don't prepare us on how to answer these NCLEX questions. Like NCLEX questions do have situational questions, but you can't really teach that nursing skill. You just have to find your skill. Like you have to be taught the nursing material, and then when you ask a certain question, you got to analyze the questions and answer it how you feel like is best and what should be done first and things like that. Which is, I feel like medical terminology is a big part of that, because if you don't know what half of the sentence says, then you're not going to know what to do. So that takes me to my next tip. Next tip is to watch nursing videos or practice with friends and family. Now, I would say watch nursing videos, especially if you're not something like a nurse practitioner or something, or you don't work right up under the nurse. If you don't work right up under the nurse and you don't really know what to do or what should be done or what's this or what's a catheter or how to draw blood, I would say to watch videos. There are a lot of free YouTube videos. There's a lot of nursing teachers on YouTube. There's a lot of nurses on YouTube that you can kind of learn from. And I will also say ask your teacher. The videos that I've seen on YouTube, the head to toe assessment, phlebotomy, I mean, I already know how to do phlebotomy, blood pressure cuffs, those videos on YouTube are really helpful. You just have to find your person that you feel like is best for you, that you can learn from, because everybody has a different teaching method. Yes, you can find 100 of the same head to toe assessment, but a certain person is going to grab your eye because you like the way they work, you like the way they evaluate things. So you're gonna pick that person over any other person. And maybe this person has like several videos on different things that you need in the nursing field. So I would say look up YouTube videos and practice on friends. I've done blood pressures at Job Corps, but I haven't done it since, and that's like 2-3 years ago. I've been working more with phlebotomy work more than anything. So I'm kind of rusty. Well, I'm rusty on the blood pressure. So I will watch a YouTube video. I will watch my teacher do a blood pressure, and I will practice on my classmates in class. So I feel like the friends and families will really be a good way on practicing certain things, like a head to toe assessment, blood pressures. I wouldn't say drawing blood. Maybe your school will have a fake arm that you can practice on drawing blood with. But I feel like asking those questions to a family member or a friend for assessment or anything like that, I feel like that is the best way to do it, because when you have to take your stimulations, you're going to be talking to a mannequin. So you're going to look at the mannequin like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to say to them. They're not talking back. So you got to kind of like reply back to yourself in your head. So if you're doing it on a real person and they're talking, you can use that scenario that you did with you and your friend, saying your friend, you be like, and doing a head to toe assessment, and then you like, okay, so what did you come in for today? And they say they have chest pains, and y'all go back and forth like that. You can use that in a stimulation lab when you're doing your evaluation when you're doing your stimulations for your head to toe assessment and getting graded on. So I feel like the practice does make perfect. I haven't been practicing. I have been having a lot going on, so I haven't been studying. I haven't been practicing, so I went ahead and dropped the class. But I do feel like friends and families, classmates, find a group of classmates that you're able to work with, and I feel like that will help you in the long run, because y'all can teach each other different things. You might be working with an LPN and they tell you, oh, you can do this is the best way to do it, it's the best way to do it, stuff like that. Or y'all can exchange notes. What one person grabbed, you grabbed, or what you didn't grab, another person grabbed. You know what I'm saying? So try to help each other out. See if your friends and families can help you out on doing blood pressures, head to toe assessments, and stuff like that. And I feel like you'll do fine if you put in the effort to do what you gotta do. My next tip is use practice questions in the book. Like I said, the teachers do teach and tell you what you need to know for the test and the NCLEX, but the NCLEX have situational questions that teachers don't really go over. And I'm not saying the teachers are not teaching, and I'm not saying that the book is wrong. It's just the way the words are worded in the NCLEX are totally different from the book and what the teacher told you. So you have to use that critical thinking to a whole different type of level. And I know not everybody gonna have that critical thinking on point, but I feel like as you do your head to toe assessments, as you get into your clinicals, working with your classmates, working with your nurses, talking to your teacher, I feel like your mind will kind of get, okay, I need to do this done. Your mind will kind of think, okay, this is more important than this. I need to do this before I do this, but I also need to do this. So which order do I need to do it in? So the questions in the back of the book really help with that, because they ask you questions about certain scenarios and what you should do, and then the answers is in the way back of the book. Either the answers in the way back of the book, or the answers are online, or you can ask your teachers for the answer. And I feel like those are very, very helpful, along with the workbooks. We haven't really been using our workbook in health assessments, but I noticed that in the health assessments book, it's having stuff like labeling, it has vocabulary words, it has situational questions. So for next quarter, I need to put it up on myself, since that's the only class I'm going to have next quarter, since I dropped it this quarter before I felt it. Since that's the only class that I'm going to have next quarter, I am going to assign pages myself to do, so I know how to label the heart, and I know how to label certain things, and I know certain vocabulary words, and I know how to answer certain questions. I feel like that's the best for me. I'm glad that I stopped and dropped this class and take it next quarter. I know my graduation is going to be pushed back, but it's best for me, because I'll only have that class that one quarter, so I can fully focus on that quarter. So yes, I feel like the workbooks, the back of the books, the questions, and they have answers in the book as well. And like I said, if they don't have the answers in the book, they have it online. But I feel like those really help with your critical thinking and how you should think, and how also with your medical terminology, and how certain questions are going to be asked on the NCLEX. Another tip that I have is time management. You have to manage your time, like between work, if you have kids, if you have pets. You have to manage your time, because it's a lot of information you need to know that's cramped. It depends. I don't know if certain people are going through a 4-year program. I'm in a two-year program. Some people are in an 18-month program. I'm in a 24-month program. Then of course there's a straight to the BSN program, like I said. So it's just different routes for different people. You find what's best for you, but I'm telling you, you're gonna need time management. Yes, you're gonna wanna work, because I know a lot of people that's in nursing school claim to be broke. They need money, they need to do this, they need to do that, because they're not able to work as much because they're in nursing school. They have to study, they have to do 12-hour clinicals, they gotta make sure they pass their test, they gotta make sure they pass their quiz, they gotta make sure they do all their homework just so they don't get zeros. So I know it's a lot, but if you have, ooh, my camera, my bad. But if you have great time management, I feel like all can be done. Everything can be done. At one point, I was in nursing school working 2 jobs. I was in nursing school working 2 jobs. But I was in my prereqs. You see what I'm saying? So it's different for everybody. And I feel like in clinicals, I will still be able to work, but I have to work around clinicals, because school comes first. But I also need enough to pay my bills. So if I work around clinicals come first, then I work around. I'd rather be tired. It depends on the job. I'd rather be tired at work than in school, but it depends on the job. Like if I'm, like I was doing the clinical lab assistant, I'd rather be tired at work than at school. But if I'm doing something like phlebotomy, I'd rather be tired at school than at work, and just study at work. Like I would study at work as a phlebotomist, and then I would go to school, and then I would come home, shower, eat, go to sleep. So I make sure I study on my free time at work. So you have to manage your time very, very wisely, because nursing school, yes, if you haven't done your prereqs and you're doing your prereqs, yes, it's gonna be easy. You know, you're going through the breeze, you're going through the hoops and stuff like that. But once you hit those clinical classes, like health assessments is kicking my ass, okay? And I'm just now thinking, okay, I need to take this class by itself. You gotta do what you gotta do. Don't worry about who's passing, who's moving without you. You have to do what you have to do. Don't worry about people, some people able to work from home or not work at all and go to school full time and able to, don't worry about them. Worry about what you have to do and how you're gonna do it, because you will get through it if you make a game plan. So I'm just saying, time management. Manage your time. When you want to do homework, when you want to study, when do you want to work? Do you want to work in the morning? Do you want to work in the evening? Do you want to work at nights? Do you want to go to school evenings, days, nights? When do you want to go to school? That's how you will manage your time on when you study, when you do your homework, when you have study groups, when you're supposed to do your projects, stuff like that. If you really sit down and think about, okay, I need to make a game plan. I feel like that's the best way of getting through nursing school. A next tip I would say, if you work in a hospital, ask nurse questions, or if you don't work in a hospital, volunteer. Now, with me, I was working in a hospital as a phlebotomist, and I was working in a hospital as a patient care tech once upon a time. As a patient care tech, I was a patient transporter from the ED to the MRI, to CAT scan, to radiology, to the floor. So I would see certain things. When there were certain emergencies that happened in the ER, I would ask certain nurses, okay, what's this called? What does this mean? What's wrong with the patient? Did they not eat? Did they have a bowel movement? What's going on? Just ask certain things, because trust me, you're gonna see it when you're in nursing school. So I would just ask certain questions. And if you're not in the medical field at all, there's places that you can volunteer, like Red Cross. You can volunteer at Red Cross, and then they can train you to be a phlebotomist. It's as simple as that. Certain places you can volunteer and you can end up getting a certification. I know some places have medical assistants. They'll train you. You can volunteer to help out, if they like you, then they'll train you, then you can get your medical certification, medical assistant certification. So it's just like, you do what you want to do and what helps you. But I feel like talking to nurses or talking to somebody in the medical field, like an LPN or an MD or whatever, really helps with certain questions. Also, when I was a phlebotomist, I've seen a lot of people with liver failure, kidney failures, people with blood coming out their eyes, their ears, and their bottom at the same time, because they had a liver failure, because they had a drinking problem. Like, you learn certain things. Even when I was in a hospital for my pancreatitis, I learned certain things. A lot of people ask me, were you drinking? Do you drink? Do you drink? Da, da, da. I didn't know that could cause pancreatitis, and I wasn't drinking. It could have been sugar intake, honestly. So I learned different things just from me being in the hospital alone. People was poking me, drawing my blood. I was asking them questions. Like, it was a lot of stuff going on. So you take certain stuff and run with it. Like, try to learn from it. Like, if you go to the hospital, try to learn certain things that's wrong with you and try to figure out, oh, why is this happening? Why is this? Also for your health, yes, but also because you're in nursing school and you will see that in somebody else. So I would say volunteer, or if you work in the medical field near a nurse, ask them questions if you see something, or if you have something in your homework and you're like, what is this? I don't understand what this is. Ask a nurse. Another tip that I have is form a relationship with teachers. I know it's hard sometimes to get along with your teachers, because sometimes you feel like depending on the teacher, they're not helping, they're not doing what they can do, da 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 da. But it's like, you're gonna need her for your recommendation, you're gonna need her for the NCLEX, you're gonna need her for your quizzes, you're gonna need her for your tests. So if your teacher gives you a little attitude or this and that, just brush her off your shoulders and can kill her with freaking kindness, okay? I know that is kind of crazy coming from me, but kill the teacher with kindness, because at the end of the day, you need them to help you. And I know you can study, ask different people, classmates, different teachers, nurses for help. But what is paying for school if you can't ask your teacher for help? I understand if you're uncomfortable with them, or you don't feel comfortable asking them questions, or you nervous. If you're nervous to ask questions in class, wait till the end of class, write down all your questions during class, wait till the end of class and ask your teacher. And if she has a problem with answering them after class, then I will talk to the dean of nursing, because if I feel uncomfortable with asking you a certain question and I want to pull you to the side, I should be able to pull you to the side regardless. Say we outside of class and I need help with homework and I email you and you're mad that I asked you a question. So if I need a question at the end of class, I'm gonna ask you at the end of class. You see what I'm saying? So don't make it hard by beefing with a teacher, not wanting to talk to the teacher, not wanting to ask her questions. Ask all the questions that you need. Write down your questions, ask the question, and you get the answer, write down your answer and study that. Whatever you have questions for, write it down, get your answer, write it down, and study that, okay? So form a relationship with your teacher, because you're gonna need them for the recommendations, baby, okay? Not all jobs prefer recommendations, but some do. A lot of them do. So don't compare yourself to your classmates. Like I was saying, some of my classmates are LPNs, some of them are medical assistants, some of them are phlebotomists, some of them are lab techs, some of them work at fast food. It does not matter. Do not compare yourself to somebody else. Because I know some people that they'll do bad on the test, or they'll do, you know, kind of good on the test, and then they go around asking people, what did you get, what did you get, what did you get it? And then somebody got like a 98, 94 or something. Oh, how'd you get that? Da, 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 da. Then they feel some type of way. Then they feel some type of way about their grade and how they're doing. They feel like they're not doing. Honestly, me, as long as my GPA hits a certain point for me to go to a different school, I don't care what the next person got. It is what it is. I do not compare my grades to nobody else. I'll probably be like, what did you get? And if I need your help on something, I'm gonna ask you questions, because you got a good grade, you understanding the class. But I'm not gonna look at somebody's grade and be like, dang, they did better than me. Baby, as long as I pass and my GPA is where I want it to be, that's all I care about. I don't care about the next person's GPA. I don't care about one person making the dean's list. I don't care about this person failing, but then they get higher than me on the next quiz or exam or whatever. Do not care about, worry about you. Focus on you. Everybody knows something different. Everybody knows different people. Everybody's getting help from different people. So you can't really base yourself off of other people. Like I told y'all, some of my classmates are LPNs, so they're gonna do good. The only thing that I could do is ask them questions. Like when I was in class for my head to toe assessment, me and my one of my friends, we pulled one of the LPNs to the side and be like, can you please show us a head to toe assessment from start to finish? And she did. That's the only thing that you can do that can help you when you ask people, oh, what did you get, what did you get? Or you can ask them, okay, so can I see your nose? Can I see what you got down that I didn't get down? That's the only about comparing that I do at all. Don't compare your grade to somebody else. Don't make yourself feel less because somebody else got a better grade. You do what you have to do. You study what you study. Everybody comprehends, like I said, everybody comprehends things differently. Everybody absorbs knowledge differently. Everybody learns from different people. So don't compare. You stress yourself out even more. When I ask people for grades, oh, what did you get? What did you get? It's because I want to know what they are studying. I want to know their method. Let me see your nose. Okay, can you show me this head to toe assessment? Okay, so what is this? That's the only good of asking what did you get on your exam or quiz or whatever. That's the only good. If you made the dean's list or what, that's not gonna do me no good. You already on the dean's list. What am I gonna ask you for? You see what I'm saying? So if you're gonna ask somebody how they do or what they get, at least ask them, okay, so what did you study? How did you study? What is your method of studying? Because obviously maybe I'm not doing something right. That's the only thing that I could say is best when you ask people if they're about their grade, and if their grade is higher than you. Just don't feel no type of way. Everybody have their good tests. Everybody have their bad tests. It is what it is, but you will get through it. I promise you, okay? Another tip that I have, and this is my last tip, so yeah. Another tip that I have is self-love. Y'all need self-love. I'm not saying y'all don't love yourself. Y'all need to self-love, self-care. Y'all need to take care of yourselves. Y'all need to love yourselves, because I understand things happen. You have school, you have work, you probably have kids, or you probably have pets. A lot going on. Still take your showers, still brush your teeth, still eat, still go to your doctor's appointment. Because I remember I was at one point where I would barely eat. All I was doing was working. I was working 2 jobs, and I was in school, and I was barely eating, and I would be shaking because I don't eat. Love yourself. Don't neglect your body because you're doing so many things at once. Like I said before, time management. Manage when you're going to do certain things and how you're going to do certain things, and that will help you throughout nursing school. Don't push everything that you need done aside for nursing school and work. Go to your doctor's appointments, eye doctor's appointments, dental appointments. Self-love, self-care. Do what you have to do. Take a break. Go outside, go for a walk, breathe, go to the park, breathe some fresh air. Don't mess up your mental by just work, school, because you're going to get tired. You're going to stress. I've hit rock bottom before. Stress because of school, and I was working 2 jobs. I was doing a whole bunch. I was trying to move. I was trying to do too much at one time. Manage yourself. Manage your time and what you have to do and how you have to do it, and you will get through it. That's motherfucking bars right there. But seriously, take care of yourself. Manage your time. Breathe. You got this. So I hope you guys liked the video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll be posting once a week, if not more than once a week. We're coming back with these videos, you guys. So I hope you guys are enjoying the video and the content, just like I'm enjoying editing and putting them out for you. Y'all stay safe, stay cautious, keep your mask on, be aware of your surroundings, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.